As the cataclysmic battle rages on, the very fabric of reality trembles under the sheer might of two cosmic titans. Thanos stands firm, the power of the Infinity Gauntlet pulsing through his veins, while Doomsday's rage threatens to tear the universe apart. But in a final, desperate clash, Thanos utters one chilling command: "You will cease to exist." The Soul Stone flares to life, and the unstoppable monster begins to crumble before him. But is it enough to defeat the fury of Doomsday, or has Thanos finally met his match? The fate of the universe hangs in the balance, and the answer is about to be written in blood and cosmic power. Welcome to Heroes United, Pantheon, where legendary heroes from Marvel, DC, Greek mythology, and beyond come together in an epic battles, unexpected team-ups, and thrilling adventures. The universe trembled as two of the most powerful beings in existence collided on an isolated, barren planet, far from the prying eyes of any civilization. It was a place where only the strongest could survive, and the earth beneath them was about to bear witness to a battle of unimaginable proportions. Thanos, the Mad Titan, stood at the center of a darkened battlefield, his massive frame bathed in a cold purple glow. He was a being of unfathomable intellect, a conqueror who had ruled empires and toppled gods. His reputation was legendary, and his ambition had led him to wield the power of the Infinity Gauntlet, a weapon that made him a near-omnipotent force in the universe. His every step radiated a sense of purpose, as though he were walking toward a destiny already written in the stars. As the epic unfolds, do not forget to subscribe, like and drop a comment for more historic pantheons. Across from him stood Doomsday, the ultimate weapon of destruction. He was a living embodiment of rage and annihilation, a creature born from chaos itself. His body was a grotesque amalgamation of bone, muscle, and scars, the result of countless battles in which he had adapted and evolved, becoming increasingly impervious to harm. He had slain Superman, a feat that no other being in the DC universe had managed to achieve. Now, he was locked in a battle with a foe unlike any he had encountered before, a foe who had defeated gods, and who was not to be underestimated. The two titans locked eyes. Doomsday roared, a primal sound that shook the very foundations of the planet. His fist slammed into the ground, sending cracks and shockwaves in all directions. Thanos did not flinch. His eyes remained calm, calculating, assessing the creature before him. The Mad Titan knew that brute force alone would not win this battle. He had faced stronger beings before, but what set this fight apart was the unpredictable nature of Doomsday's rage. "You are strong," Thanos said, his voice a low rumble. "But strength alone will not save you from what is coming." Doomsday growled, his eyes glowing with a fiery desire for destruction. "You speak, but only one will walk away from this fight, and it will be me." With that, the battle began. Doomsday charged forward with an unrelenting fury. His massive fist swung through the air, each blow carrying the force of an earthquake. Thanos moved with calculated precision, avoiding the wild strikes. He had fought beings like this before. Mindless rage fueled their every move, but it was the same rage that would lead to their downfall. Thanos teleported behind Doomsday, landing a devastating punch to the back of his head. The impact was immense, and the shockwave sent the ground rippling outward. Doomsday staggered but did not fall. Instead, he twisted around, swinging his massive arm to strike Thanos with the force of a hurricane. Thanos barely managed to dodge, but the attack grazed his armor, leaving a trail of sparks. "Impressive," Thanos said, his tone laced with respect. "But your rage blinds you." Doomsday's eyes flared with fury. He charged again, this time with the intent to crush his opponent. Thanos, calculating his every move, raised his hand. The Infinity Gauntlet shimmered with the power of the stones. With a snap of his fingers, the Time Stone pulsed, slowing down time in a localized bubble around him. Doomsday's movements became sluggish. Thanos easily dodged his swings, his own movements fluid and precise, as though he were in complete control of the battle. The Mad Titan then lifted his hand, unleashing the Power Stone, sending a concentrated blast of energy that sent Doomsday flying into the atmosphere. The blast had left a crater in the ground where Doomsday had once stood. Thanos hovered above the wreckage, watching as the creature recovered. Doomsday's body began to regenerate, and his massive form rose from the ruins, his rage intensifying. "You cannot defeat me, Thanos," Doomsday hissed, his voice like the growl of a wild animal. "I am evolution. I learn. I adapt." Thanos regarded the beast with calm detachment. "Your adaptation will not save you," he said, voice cold and full of finality. The Mad Titan's eyes glowed with the combined power of the Reality Stone, and with a thought, he warped the very fabric of reality around them. Doomsday's strength began to wane as his body was forced into a state of constant disorientation. For a moment, it seemed as if Thanos had trapped him, bending the creature's existence to his will. But Doomsday, true to his nature, adapted. His body erupted with even more force, pushing against the altered reality, tearing the very fabric of the world around him. He broke free, his rage increasing to unmanageable levels. Thanos knew that this fight was no longer about mere strength. It was about who could outlast the other, who could break the other's will. Thanos had defeated beings far stronger than Doomsday, but this was different. Doomsday was relentless, and his rage was pure, unfiltered destruction. But Thanos had one more weapon at his disposal, the Soul Stone. He used its power to reach into the essence of Doomsday's being, trying to manipulate the very core of his existence. This would be no easy feat, for Doomsday's monstrous nature made him impervious to many of the Gauntlet's effects. But Thanos' will was not so easily swayed. In an epic final moment, Thanos' mind and will clash with Doomsday's rage. The two forces collided in a burst of cosmic energy, a shockwave so powerful that it obliterated the landscape for miles. Thanos' voice rang out, not in pain, but in commanding power. "You will cease to exist," Thanos said, his voice steady. And with that final command, Thanos used the Soul Stone to sever Doomsday's connection to the very forces that had created him. Doomsday's form began to disintegrate, his rage fading into nothingness. The battle was over. The battlefield lay silent, the smoke and dust of the battle swirling around Thanos as he stood victorious. His gauntlet pulsed with energy, and his eyes glowed with the quiet satisfaction of a battle well fought. He had faced the ultimate weapon and emerged triumphant, not through sheer force alone, but through intellect, power, and the perfect execution of his will. Thanos had once again proven that while raw strength could shatter worlds, it was the mind, the ability to adapt, to strategize, and to wield power with purpose that truly made a conqueror. And so, the Mad Titan stood alone, a ruler of the universe once more.